Thank you, Chairwoman. And I want to thank all the witnesses for being with us today to discuss these important programs. And thank you, Mr. Phillips, for asking the question and for Ms. Tang answering it, because Shark Tank is one of the programs I watch regularly too. You know, getting back to our discussion here, SBIR and STTR programs are critical tools for small businesses to research, develop, and commercialize innovative technologies to create good paying jobs while increasing our competitiveness abroad. You know, China and other nations are making concerted efforts to bridge that innovation gap with the United States and put more resources to commercialize their own technologies. So we must not relent our country's position as the world leader on innovation and the development of new technologies. So keeping that in mind, I'm concerned the Biden administration has yet to appoint an associate administrator in the SBA's Office of Investment and Innovation. So I'd like to pose this question for all the witnesses. You know, considering SBA's responsibilities under the programs, including agency coordination, policy guidance, and data collection, how important do you think it's, you know, to have an associate administrator appointed as soon as possible? I know this could be a very simple yes or no question. Respond very quickly.
Yes, the Innovation Office should be report directly to the administrator. Yes.
Thank you. Other witnesses, your answer, yes or no? How important is to appoint an associate administrator right away? We need somebody to coordinate these important programs. You agree, right? Okay. Well, let me go to the next question. The Small Business Act requires the SBA to report annually to Congress on the SBIR and STTR programs. But unfortunately, SBA compliance with this requirement has been an ongoing issue. So if we don't have the timely reports, it's difficult for Congress to legislate and improve the programs. So in your view, what can Congress do to ensure SBA is meeting the statutory reporting requirements?
We mentioned in our detailed recommendations in our testimony, making the reports available as soon as the agency does them, put them on their website. In the old days, you had to filter them through. DOD, for example, the services have to send it to DOD, which has to review it, which sends it to SBA, which the SBA has to review. The SBA has to send it to OMB to review. So there's a built-in process. There's no reason all that information shouldn't be put on the web immediately. And so make those reports, you know, in a much shorter time frame, but put them on their own website immediately.
All right. Do you currently, Mr. Glover, do you think that SBA has that online web portal that makes it easier for different agencies to put together their report? That way the SBA can put together an overall report to Congress in a timely manner?
The review process makes it untimely. So let's eliminate the review process. You know, when it just make it, put it on the web, be done with it, and move on. Right now, we've been working with DOE, and we're looking at inside DOD data, DOE data. We're looking at things that they don't look at for years, but we're able to, through Spending USA, track down how many phase 3s are being awarded, how many, what's happening. We didn't know that 2 years ago, but we can now do it. SBA could do it as well.
Thank you. I sense your frustration, sir. So I will, yeah, thank you very much. Let me direct my last question to Ms. Pat Kitty. With our experience of being women entrepreneurs, can you offer any advice to other women entrepreneurs who would like to participate in the SBIR program?
I appreciate that question. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that there's a huge funding gap from venture capital or investors in general for women-owned businesses. That needs to change. I don't know if that's government's responsibility, but that definitely needs to change. We start out with a disadvantage. I don't know if it's a bias or whatnot, but there's definitely a gap. I think you know, when I started my career in the 80s, there were very few women in aerosol science, and now There are lines at the restroom at the conferences. So I think we've made huge gains in terms of women participation in STEM fields. I find that the field that I'm in is very respectful of women. It's a very comfortable place to be. And so I feel that women should not hesitate. They just need to jump in. And
thank you. I know my time is up, so thank you very much, all the witnesses.